Hey guys, Josh here, and welcome back to my Andromeda Initiative information sort of analysis series. So this week we're looking at the Tempest and Nomad, which is your ship and new vehicle, Mako, basically. So without further ado, let's get going.
Glad to make your acquaintance, recruits. The lucky few of you accepted to the Pathfinder team will be flying with me. I'm Callow Jaff, and this is the Tempest.
He was confirmed a few weeks ago. Yep, you have a Solarian as your pilot, which is really cool. You never seen that before. It's always a human or kind of a Tyrian kind of figure you imagine being a ship pilot, but it'd be really cool to see a Solarian as one, because Solarians are so quick thinking, and I think it'd be really fun to see what they can do. So yeah, that's really interesting to start with.
I've been her pilot since the early prototype days, so take my word when I tell you that she's light, stealthy, and easily the fastest ship in her class, capable of doing 13 light years per day. Of course, all that speed comes with some sacrifice. She isn't weighed down by heavy armor or a main gun, but rest assured, anything we can't outrun will have a tough time finding us.
So yeah, that's an interesting point. The Normandy was a really fast, stealthy machine, but also had a decent amount of firepower. Certainly by the end of the second game, when you upgraded it with like the Phalanx cannon and all that, and the extra shields. In this one, the ship is purely an outrunner. It is purely built for speed and stealth and getting in and out quickly and away quickly and that kind of thing. It's not made for fighting, which is really interesting. It suggests a really different approach to kind of the use of the ship, in a way. In Andromeda, the Normandy was kind of, yes, it was your key to exploration, but in some ways it was a battle figure. It was used in so many key moments in the trilogy, whereas in this it's kind of, it can't do that, which is really weird but different. Whether that will change, and whether, like I said, everything seems to be, this is all kind of planned before they set off, and whether with the threat of the Ket, wow, that's a nice rhyme, whether with the threat of the Ket, you're kind of forced to do modifications to the ship, and maybe that's what you get to do. Maybe you get to find modifications as the game goes on, to get your armor better, get guns on it, that kind of thing, using the technology of the races that are on Andromeda. Because I imagine this is all kind of what you kind of know from the existing galaxy, but it's very, very possible that Andromeda has really nice advanced technologies which you can make use of. So maybe that's what you get to do. You get to go out, meet new races, see what they have to offer in terms of upgrading stuff, which is really cool. Let's continue.
Between missions, Pathfinder team will call the Tempest home, and everything in our home is state-of-the-art. Our research room
again looks very nice. Firstly, very, very nice. Very familiar and yet new at the same time. I love this look of this ramp here, but the fact you can see below looks really cool. Gives it a multi-layer thing. The Normandy had different layers like that, but you never saw them because they were kind of walled off because of technical limitations. But now you get to see it. And I imagine there are people walking. Maybe you can even go down there. Maybe you can use those ladders. I'm not entirely sure, but it'd be really cool if you could.
Room is available for R&D needs. This will be the space for gathering intel and samples we've acquired, and working out their practical application in upgrading everything from weapons to armor to the Nomad Scout Rover.
There's the Nomad. Looks fucking amazing. Looks like a sort of beefy Batmobile from the Dark Knight trilogy. Looks so fucking nice. So yeah, you get this place where you get all your upgrades in one place, kind of, which is really cool. And I guess you get your samples from what you find out in the galaxy, and you make use of them, which is really cool.
It's all supported by discoveries from the tech and bio labs aboard. The meeting room gives us a place to gather the crew, or video conference with the Nexus.
Very similar to the meeting area in the Normandy. You had one in the original Normandy, and then the SR2 you had one as well. It's much bigger, much sort of much better looking. No expenses spared, kind of. The Normandy was no expenses spared, but this is even more. It's really cool. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the central point where you'll be talking a lot of your characters you meet as the game goes on. And I said, like you said, you go back to the Nexus, talk to them, that kind of thing. So yeah, also I sort of thought is that this is kind of human ship, I guess. I imagine there's one made for the other races as well, which would be quite cool. So maybe you get to convene with them. That'd be nice. Let's continue.
Below are engineering, the Tempest's armory, med bay, and the cargo bay, which
Very
houses
familiar.
the Nomad.
Very familiar.
During your downtime, you can relax in the crew quarters or the galley. The Pathfinder's cabin is also located nearby.
Now look at that. Look at that. That is the captain's cabin. It is amazing. A few things I noticed there, as well as just being so big, is you've got kind of an area here with drinks and stuff. So imagine you'll have people up. He talks about that in a minute, actually, about inviting people up. But here in the middle, you've got very similar to what's at the front of the ship, you'll see soon, where you actually get to navigate around the galaxy. So whether you can do that from your room as well, would be kind of different as well. Cool. That's another point I want to raise in a minute when it shows up. So yeah, that's really cool. Let's carry on.
But is off limits to the general crew. Unless invited, of course.
Of course.
My place is on the bridge.
The bridge, of course. That's the bridge. That's where you take command. This looks like where you're going to be driving, not driving, but navigating and choosing where you want to go, which they've said is very different. It's very visual kind of, and you've seen the sort of promotion video from E3 a few years ago when it shows your character kind of pointing with their hand and clicking on things on the glass and going there. That is really cool, the thought that you're up the front. But again, that raises a very big point. That it's very different to what was a very big point in Mass Effect 1, I think, is that the CIC, which is where the galaxy map was basically towards the middle of the ship behind the pilot, and that was very different to what was used to at the time. And I think you have an inspection and the guy's really pissed off. He's like, why is your CIC in the middle? That's stupid. Why would you do that? And I think Shepard's response is, oh, that's a Turing design, it lets them oversee all their crew. Well, in this, you've kind of gone back to being at the front. Whether that's an influence of human kind of enforcing their way, I don't know, but it is really cool to think you're at the front looking out the window and seeing everything in front of you, with your pilot probably just there and your co-pilot there, which is really cool.
This is where the Pathfinder operates our nav system,
Yep.
synced specifically to them. Any destination in the Helios cluster right at their fingertips. Once we verify ground conditions with our scanners, the Tempest will enter the atmosphere, touch down, and the team will head out in the Nomad for a closer look.
Again, they said that is really sort of seamless and quick, and kind of I think they showed a little gameplay of it. Basically, you land a ship and then you're there. There's no real loading times. It's all done in the background whilst the video plays the ship landing, which is very cool. But yeah, it's kind of cool that basically I imagine you get to go to planets and you're there for a while just exploring them. They said there's different types of planets. There's planets where story stuff happens on. There's planets which are purely for sort of exploration. It's kind of very similar to Mass Effect 1 in a way, but I imagine they're going to be a lot more in depth. There's side quests on these other planets, and there's just really cool stuff to find. Not just a barren wasteland with a few fucking resource nodes on them like there was in Mass Effect 1.
This rover is the definition of all-terrain, with twin hydrogen-oxygen fuel cells powering an Element Zero core, independent suspension for each wheel, and interchangeable 4- or 6-wheel drive. She comes equipped with a rear fuel injection boost to propel you forward, and in any tight spots, helium-3 micro thrusters beneath the vehicle
so
are on
nice.
hand to blast you clear.
This is new Mako, obviously, the Nomad. It's been worked on a lot. This was basically the very first thing they even announced before we even knew the name. When everyone was thinking it was going to be Mass Effect 4, we were told, oh, here's the new Mako. It's something they've been working on since the start. If they really want to focus on this sense of exploration of an open world a lot more in this one, of going around the worlds, they need to get your method of transport right, and I think that's why they've been focusing on it from the start. And they've had, because it's EA, they have access to all their studios. They got the people who made Need for Speed to work on the handling of it, so it handles really, really nicely. It's not the piece of shit that the Mako was. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this thing. It actually looks really fun to use. The Mako was always like, oh, I'm having to use the Mako. And at the same time, it was really kind of cool on his own character, kind of. It was so shit. Whereas this is like, it looks fucking amazing to use. I'm really excited to use it.
The Nomad must be able to adapt to difficult conditions. The modularity of its design allows everything from thrusters, shields, shield blast, life support, radar, and of course, paint jobs to be customized based on our surroundings.
Cool. Customization is always a good thing.
And most crucial of all is your ability to scan planet surfaces for valuable resources and mine them with deployable mining drones.
Okay. So it's like the drones you have anyway, but you actually get to see them on the planet. Interesting. How they're going to work that out, I'm not sure, but yeah, that looks kind of cool.
Entire galaxy to scout recruits. The next time I welcome you on board the Tempest, I hope to do so as crewmates. See you in Andromeda.
So there we have it. That's number 3, the Tempest and Nomad. That's currently, it's all available to me right now. I've recorded these all in one block, by the way, although they've been delivered on a weekly basis. And the next one's not out yet. I'm not entirely sure what their rota is. I think it's every like 2-3 weeks they're being released. So probably by the time this goes out, the next one will be available. So that will be next week, hopefully. And if not, it will be when it's released. But I think they are doing them on a regular basis. I'll have to look up the exact schedule of release for them. But yeah, so hopefully next week you'll see me with the next episode of this little series. If not, when it comes out. But yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.